What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, aka my channel. So over this past couple of weeks, I've been concentrating fully on this US travel restrictions, travel ban, and essentially about travel. So this video is nonetheless different. Regardless, I travel a lot and I understand what goes behind this. So I think I understand what's going behind travel restrictions and everything and how to travel. So over these past couple of days, ever since I uploaded my last video on the US extending its land border to Canada, till September 21st, both land borders of Canada and Mexico, a lot of people have been reaching out, how do I travel from India, or how do I travel from these banned countries to the US, where to quarantine and all that stuff. So this video is just going to be a small, video about what are the FAQs and stuff and what not to do, what to do. So a lot of people have been asking me when the travel ban is going to be removed. I'm not sure. I've been reading a lot of articles. Essentially, the next big holiday that we have in the US is the September 6th holiday, which is our Labor Day, which is essentially people have a big public holiday here. So that is our big holiday, after which is your Thanksgiving, and obviously after that is your Christmas holidays, as well as the winter break starts with your New Year and so on. So that is essentially the next big holiday. So with respect to all these travel bans removing, it's almost sort of immediate. They don't let you know that this is the day when they're going to remove it. By then they're going to remove it all of the sudden for some reason. So it's like even the Canada border was September 21st extension, when we just had one day, August 21st is when they were going to remove it tentatively, and just one day before that. So there's no prior information on this. But anyways, here are some of the FAQs for that I've been getting a lot over these past few days in my comments and everything. So I just thought I'll make a video on this. I've also been thinking about uploading more frequently with regards to this. A lot of people have been asking me the same sort of questions, and I've been following on this news as well. So I just want to upload some more things with regards to that, so that there's very less misinformation that is being spread. So anyways, back to the video. So September 6th is a recent speculation that US and UK have been eyeing on. Essentially, a lot of Dublin visitors essentially want to travel by then. So I think tentatively they might remove it before that. And the reason is that the travel advisory for so many countries have gone to level 2, which is travel with caution. And just not exercise, just caution. It's just be careful, and travel level 1 is essentially you don't need to exercise any caution and it's safe to travel there. With these respect, September 6th is where you can, I at least believe that they're going to remove it very soon by then. Another thing that I've been getting a lot is, how do I travel? What if I don't quarantine for 14 days? What happens then? So essentially, I would highly recommend you to do that, just quarantine for 14 days, because there's very, very little chances of you just getting messing along, because if you do get caught, you probably have a very little chance of actually coming back to the US, and they might put you in a ban list, or debar you or deport you. They could do something very, very bad. So I would definitely not recommend that. So the biggest hurdle for you essentially to come to another country, quarantine for 14 days, is essentially getting over the Indian airport. They ask a lot of questions. For one, when I was traveling early 2021, I had to show my visa documents so many times. I mean, I know that's how they check and verify. They ask my visa documents every other counter, again and again and again. Even at the exit immigration at India, they asked me, okay, do you have the proper documents to go to the US? Why am I here even then? But anyways, I understand a lot of people don't, and they get stuck there. So they're essentially making sure that you do. So if you are going to a different country, to the US, quarantining for that, they will obviously ask for proof unless you're in the certain category, which is like F1, NIE approval. They'll ask all those documents. So if you don't have that, essentially for B1, B2 visas who are planning to travel there, they might ask you for documentation or, number, or if you're planning to stay over at your friends or family, they'll probably ask all those numbers, all the contact information for the destination that you're planning to go, and then ensuring that it's correct. So your biggest hurdle would be getting out of India at the Indian airport, whether it's domestically or internationally. Let's just say you are planning to travel to US, let's just say with a 23-hour layover, which is the biggest layover that you can stay at an airport. They would obviously know that you're trying to travel there. Your final destination is SFO because it's the same airline, and they would have all this information in place. So again, a very, very risky move. So I would definitely not recommend. A lot of people have been asking me, what's the big deal? I don't think people would check where you're quarantining and all that stuff. Spoiler alert, they do, at least not at the check-in gate, but before you even get there, even at the transit center, your biggest hurdle would be getting out of the Indian airport, where they would essentially check everything and all that stuff. Now let's just say you even pull this off, like somehow, some way you just pull it off. The other thing is that, let's just say you travel from India on 6th September, for example, and you reach the US on 7th or 8th September, the immigration officer there, the port of entry immigration officer there, would essentially know your origin destination because he looks at the papers in your passport. So again, you can't fool people as well. So if you have at least 14-day gap from the blocked countries, it is essentially safe to travel. So a lot of these questions have been coming up, and I would, I've thought about it myself, but I know how, they check those papers and stuff. And yeah, so let's not even dwell over it. So in another news, another thing is that Qatar has been popular. I've actually covered this in many of my previous videos. Go ahead and check those as well. That, Qatar has been a very, very popular destination. One, the tickets are very cheap to go to Qatar. People from those countries don't really need any sort of visa. It's like visa on arrival, so you don't really need anything. So it's pretty, very easy. Accommodation is also not very expensive. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's all right. I mean, you can probably manage under $2,000 for the whole one-way ticket to the US. But one thing, another country that did pop up was UAE. So UAE, if you don't know, United Arab Emirates is where I'm from, essentially allows on-arrival visas for people who have, any sort of US visa. Obviously, US citizens and permanent residents have certain exceptions, but essentially people traveling from India are now not allowed because, obviously there's a flaw in the system that, if you essentially have a US visa stamped on your passport, you can stay in the country for 14 days. It's sort of like, okay, you can stay, you're good enough to stay. So essentially 14 days qualifies as quarantine. People could stay there and just come back. So now they're stopping all the travelers there. And, you don't need visa on arrival, but, essentially you have to do all this stuff. So now you can't do that. So what is the next best thing if you want to go via Dubai is that you can have to go through Emirates or Etihad, which are the local airlines. Also fly Dubai if you have that option. Also Air Arabia. So those 4 airlines. You also have to apply through the website, visit visa. It's also under the name of resident visa. When you get the visa, it's a pink form. It says residence visa, and then you have to pay around $100, which is around 120 dirhams, give or take. And then, can't hold me out for conversion. It's one US dollars, 3.64 dirhams. But obviously, exchange rate and everything is a little biased at the airport. So even while you're paying, the last time I had to go there, I had to take a month-long visa. So I paid around, 120 dirhams, which is, I paid around, $100. They just said there's taxes and stuff. So not a very good conversion, but it is what it is. So yeah, so essentially I had to do that. So yeah, that's what it is, with respect to this visas. If you really want to choose the Emirates option, Etihad or Air Arabia via flying via Dubai, you stay in there for 14 days. Dubai hotels are slightly cheaper. In a day it costs like 25 dirhams, $25, depending on where you're staying. Near the airports there are fairly good hotels. They're all very clean. You get free breakfast and stuff, so obviously you don't really need to go anywhere. And Dubai is a lot more, it's a better place to see. At least you get to see Dubai. And a lot of people who want to come to Dubai can do their visa stamping as well, because in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, where it's slightly less crowded with respect to the crowd and everything, when in comparison to India or other countries. So yeah, these are the updates that I can think of for this video. I'll be covering a lot more every day, hopefully. So subscribe, like this video if you found this useful, and just post down all your questions and stuff. I'll try my best to answer it to the best of my knowledge, because I am following this news very closely. I check the White House press meeting every day in hopes of, whether they'll remove this and all that stuff. I'm as invested as you are, because tourism industries and everything is like deeply impacted by this whole thing. And it's like enough. I mean, people have already got the FDA approvals and everything, all this stuff that is was a blocker for this. You have your booster shots coming in September 20th. So yeah, I don't see any reason why they should still stop this. And when you're traveling, they check for your COVID negative test. So essentially, people who are traveling are the highest protected people, and the worst case is that you get spread. COVID spreads internally and not through travel bans and stuff. So this whole thing makes no sense, but it is what it is. So hoping for good news, keep praying, keep hoping that it comes really soon. So that is all, y'all. Hopefully you like this video. If you did, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and I love you all so much, and see you all in another video. Bye.